Google just made Gemini way smarter. What if your AI assistant already knows where you stayed on your last vacation, what you've been watching, and what you bought last month without you telling it a single thing? What if the most powerful AI upgrade of the year wasn't a new model or a flashy product launch? What if it was already inside an app you've been using for years? Google just flipped a switch that turns Gemini from a generic chatbot into something that actually knows your life. And most people have no idea it exists. I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, and I help people learn and actually use AI tools in their work. Today, we're breaking down Google's biggest Gemini update yet, what it is, how it works, how it's changing travel planning, why it's a massive deal, and the one question everybody's asking, should you actually trust it with your data? Stay with me because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to use this, what to watch out for, and what it means for where AI is heading. Let's start with the big picture. What exactly is personal intelligence? Google launched it as a beta feature in January 2026, rolling it out first to Google AI Pro and AI Ultra subscribers in the US. And since then, they've expanded it even further. It's now available in AI mode, in Search, the Gemini app, and Gemini in Chrome, including for free tier users. Here's the simple version of what it does. For this update, Gemini was like any other chatbot. You'd ask it a question, it would pull from the internet and give you a generic answer. Didn't know anything about you specifically. Every conversation started from scratch. Personal intelligence changes that completely. Now, Gemini can connect to your Gmail, Google Photos, YouTube viewing history, and Google search history, and use all of that to give you answers that are actually relevant to your specific life, not just a statistical average of what most people want. Google calls the two core strengths of this feature reasoning across complex sources and retrieving specific details. So it's not just pulling one piece of information. It's connecting dots across text, images, and video to build a picture of you and what you actually need. And this is already rolling out. This isn't a concept. It's live. Now let me show you what this looks like in the real world, because the travel planning use case is where this really clicks. Here's the old way of planning a trip. You open a dozen browser tabs. You Google best hotels in Tokyo. You check your email to find your passport expiry date. You scroll back through your photos, trying to remember what you liked about your last trip. You pull up YouTube to watch some travel vlogs. You try to piece it all together. It takes hours. It's exhausting. Here's the new way with Gemini Personal Intelligence. You just ask, help me plan a family trip to Japan. We love food, we like avoiding crowds, and we want some outdoor experiences. And instead of giving you a generic tourist response, Gemini goes to work on your actual data. Checks your Gmail for past booking confirmations and travel receipts. It analyzes your Google Photos to understand what kinds of trips your family has enjoyed. Looks at what travel content you've been watching on YouTube. Factors in your search history to understand your preferences. Then it skips the tourist traps. It suggests experiences that actually match your family's style. And it builds a tailored itinerary, not something copy-pasted from a blog, but something built around who you actually are. Google's own VP of Labs, Josh Woodward, shared a real example of this in action. He was standing in line at a tire shop and didn't know his tire size or his license plate number. He asked Gemini. Pulled the license plate from a photo in Google Photos. It identified his van's specific trim by searching through his Gmail purchase emails. He had everything he needed before he got to the counter. Now apply that same logic to travel. Gemini can pull your hotel confirmation and know exactly when you arrive. So if you ask, recommend restaurants near my hotel when I get in, it already knows which hotel, which city, and roughly what time you'll be checking in. You don't have to tell it, it just knows. And with Gemini Live, you can share your camera while you're actually traveling, translate a sign, identify a monument, or find a hidden spot nearby, all in real time. This is what an AI assistant that actually knows your context can do. Now, I want to talk about why this is such a huge deal, because it goes beyond just travel planning. Personal intelligence turns Gemini into something that searches your life first and the internet second. Ask it for shopping recommendations. It looks at what you've bought before and what your style actually is. Ask it about a device you bought. It pulls the receipt from your Gmail and finds the exact model. Ask it to help you stay organized. It checks your calendar and your emails together. And here's where Google has a massive advantage that nobody else can easily replicate. ChatGPT doesn't have a native ecosystem. It doesn't have your emails, your photos, your search history. Microsoft Copilot is mainly focused on productivity tools inside Microsoft 365. Apple Intelligence is still finding its feet. Google, on the other hand, already has your entire digital life across billions of users. Gmail, Photos, Maps, YouTube, Search, Drive, Calendar. And now they're connecting all of that to their AI. This is Google playing the one card that none of its rivals can easily copy. When I first started really digging into AI tools and figuring out which ones were actually worth using, I was completely overwhelmed. So many tools, so many updates, so many workflows, I had no idea what to focus on. That's when I created a community called AI Profit Boardroom. There are now over 2,000 members, all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works in practice. It taught me which workflows save real time versus which ones just sound good in theory. The community shares real use cases and implementations from people actually using these tools every day. If you're serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in the description. Okay, let's talk about the thing everyone's asking, because this sounds amazing, but it also sounds like you're handing Google the keys to your entire digital life. And that's a fair concern. So let's be clear about what Google actually says about privacy here, because the details matter. First, and this is critical, personal intelligence is completely off by default. Google does not start reading your emails or analyzing your photos without your permission. You have to go into Gemini settings and actively turn it on. Second, you control exactly which apps to connect. You can give Gemini access to your photos but not your Gmail. Connect YouTube history but not your search history. It's granular. You pick what you're comfortable with. Third, and this is the detail people miss, Google says that Gemini does not train its AI models directly on your Gmail inbox or your Google Photos library. Your private photos and emails are not becoming training data that shapes responses to other users. Google trains on things like specific prompts and responses after taking steps to filter or obscure personal information. The way Google puts it, they don't train their systems to learn your license plate number. They train them to understand that when you ask for one, they can locate it. Fourth, your data stays on Google's servers. It's not being sent to third-party services. Gemini is accessing information that already exists in Google's infrastructure. Now, does that mean there's zero risk? No. You're still choosing to give an AI system access to your personal accounts, and that deserves real thought. Here's the honest framing. If you already trust Google with your Gmail, your photos, and your search history, and you do because you've been using those products for years, personal intelligence doesn't introduce a fundamentally new risk. It just activates the data that was already there. One thing worth knowing, Gemini can sometimes make wrong connections. Google calls it overpersonalization. It might assume you love golf because you have hundreds of photos at a golf course when really you're just there for your kid. You can correct it on the spot and it adjusts. There are also guardrails that stop it from surfacing sensitive health data in ways that would be inappropriate. If you're more privacy conscious, you can connect a dedicated email account only used for travel bookings and nothing else. One journalist at the New York Times actually tried exactly that approach for trip planning and found it worked really well. You're in control. Use it on your terms. Let's zoom out and talk about where this is all heading, because this update is a signal of something much bigger. We're moving away from AI being a search engine you talk to and toward AI that understands the context of your life and acts before you even ask. Google has already shipped a productivity planner that connects to Gmail, Calendar, and Drive to surface insights automatically, and scheduled actions that let you set Gemini to do things like send you a daily morning summary or flag local events every Friday. All Google apps, Calendar, Drive, Maps are being added to personal intelligence over time. The direction is clear: less typing, more ambient intelligence. This is what the future of AI assistants looks like. Not a chatbot you talk at, a system that knows you and works with you. If you're looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. 2,000 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences, what's working, what's not, which tools are worth your time, which ones to skip. No hype, just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It's helped me stay on top of updates and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in the description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 58,000 members who are crushing it with AI.